Okay, so today we're playing Jund, which is, no one has ever actually played these three colors in Modern before. Nobody has ever, thought of putting red cards, black cards, and green cards together. And, we're doing it live for the first time. I've, invented a new color combination. I've actually invented the word Jund. We can get into how I arrived at this word to describe a black, red, green mid-range deck today. So the big idea is that, you know, if you compare this to the Rakdos deck we're playing, this is just the Rakdos deck we're playing. We're playing Tarmogoyf over Voidwalker, and we're splashing for Wrenn and Six, and we're playing Ancient Grudge as well. And oh, the record thing is back. Let's go. Awesome. So just a few notes here. I'm of the opinion that Voidwalker is a lot less well positioned than it has been in the past, because Living End is on the decline and Primeval Titan decks are on the decline as well. And when those decks aren't that popular, Voidwalker is a lot less good. And Tarmogoyf is also pretty good in this format full of red removal, although it still dies to Unholy Heat a lot. And then I also think that Ancient Grudge is better than Shattering Spree at the moment. Ancient Grudge is like really good against Hammer Time, being instant speed. And then Wrenn and Six is nuts at the moment. Andrew, 14 months. Man, there's the lawnmowers all in my ear. Should I Thoughtseize to try to play around Thought Monitor? I probably should. I opened 3 old border fortifications. That's crazy. That is awesome. Congratulations to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can cast this Mirror Enforcer if I let them have it. And that's not great. Neither is the cranial plating, to be honest. Just wondering if your opinion on Scarab God in the Esper Reanimator list. I don't think that card is... So one, you don't want any Reanimator targets that are legendary, because you can't persist them. And I know that you might be suggesting just playing it as a fair card, but I don't think it's particularly good as a fair card either. But I do like that list. I played a league or two of it last night, and I wasn't doing super well with the version we had been playing, so I tried building like a more all-in version, or a version that's like more in on the Reanimator playing game 1, and still kind of has this like oh, they drew Urza Saga? That's just like the best draw by a lot here. Oh boy. All right, let me dash this Ragavan. Geez, Saga's such a good hit here. Probably not going to be super duper helpful card here. I was saying something. Oh yeah, so I built a version of the deck that was like more in on like the Reanimator plan, and they're pretty dead this game. And then we are still have that transformative control sideboard, which I feel like made a lot of sense in theory. Did your Thought Monitor? Okay. BMX 7 months, appreciate ya. We could maybe have won that game, but you're so behind. Alright, so I'm gonna bring in these 8 cards. Lonely Isotope, 6 months. Welcome back. Appreciate you as well. I want to cut the monkeys, I think. I want to go down and discard spells. Probably play like 3 Inquisition, or 2 Inquisition. Oh, whoops. 3 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize, 3 Inquisition, 1 Thoughtseize, 2/2. I guess I kind of like 2/2. They've got like Thought Monitor, Mirror Enforcer. These cards are kind of important to be able to get. Down to 1 Kroxa. It's pretty good to me. I could play Chalice on the play. Chalice is like, it's only good in your opening hand though. It is pretty good in your opening hand. I think I'm down. Cut the last Kroxa, cut the 4th Goyf. Curve topping at 23 with 4 baubles makes you think that 22 lands could be one too many. Maybe. I mean, we also have Peatlands and Lurrus and Kroxa as like mana sinks, so I feel like I like 22. Mean Lizard, Renewed Deck Tech, we'll take a look. But you could be right. Could be right. Do I have the new Esper list? I mean, I have it, but I just haven't posted it yet. Not sure. I kind of want to keep thinking on it. So one thing about Grixis Shadow is I do think Scourge is a fine card in these decks, but in order to play it, I think you need to play Ragavan and Darcy. You need, I believe, in my opinion, a prerequisite for playing Scourge of the Skyclaves in your modern deck is playing 8 1-mana creatures that can attack on turn 2. And so Death Shadow is not a 1-mana creature that can attack on turn 2. Darcy is, Ragavan is. So it's my opinion that if you want to play Scourge, you need to play Ragavan. And I have not found it easy to fit Ragavan into the deck. Because I feel like we're like a little too threat dense. Sorry, I found it difficult to fit both Ragavan and Scourge because I find we're a bit too threat dense at that point. Do I want another Darcy? I think I'm just gonna graveyard it. And so in the Grixis Shadow list I've been playing, I just haven't been playing Scourge. I also am not playing Scourge because I like the card Dress Down a lot in this deck. Dress Down is really good with Kroxa, really good with Shadow, and is also just like a tricky card against a lot of decks. But it doesn't work with Scourge, it kills your Scourges, so I've been not playing it. See, they're drawing Ornithopter. What was Sarah, thank you for your subscription. It's not showing up in my chat for 3 months. Crazy. So you can find the list that I'd be playing in the Stream Decker. In that version, I'm playing 2 Dress Down, 3 Drown, 3 Iteration. I'm not playing the Kolaghan's Command. I'm playing kind of Dress Down over Team or Battle Rage, which is something I've liked. But I think I just like Explosives on 0 here. But a lot of that just kind of boils down to personal preference, and it's not. Not definitely the way to build a deck, and I've only played a couple leagues, but I have liked that plan. But I just want you to understand that I think the prerequisite for playing this card is 8 1-mana creatures. And then I would like to see Terminate in the main deck or not. I haven't been too happy with Terminate as a sideboard card. I feel like it's a little under impactful. I think I'm just gonna kill their Cranial Plating, make them discard their last card here. Just leave them with nothing. Those are my thoughts. Why blow up EE instantly? So that way they can't use mana from Springleaf Drum, and it also like turns off their affinity for cards like Thought Monitor, Mirror Enforcer. You finished Odd Taxi last night, wasn't blown away, but was really happy how different it was. Awesome. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I've definitely very original show. Glad you liked it, dude. They have Urza Sog on top, which we can Alpine Moon. You want basic force in the deck for Blood Moon? There aren't too many Blood Moons in Modern at the moment, and basic force is pretty awkward with Kroxa. All right. They concede in the middle of the naming process. I feel like I've never seen a flicker happen from that. Cool. How does John Mardu deal with Blood Moon without Forest Plains? Inquisition of Kozilek? Thoughtseize. And also in Modern, you can't beat everything, you know what I mean? But I think that's a fallacy that a lot of Modern players and like mid-range players in general fall into. Okay, on the draw I don't want these Chalices. Is just trying to beat actually everything, and you can't. And like it's just like if you're adding like a bunch of disenchants, or if you're making these plans to beat Blood Moon, you're gonna be worse against I think the rest of the field to some extent. I'm drinking some espresso. I usually have a cup when I wake up, and then I try to have my second cup like right as the stream is starting. I'm gonna try this deck with 20 lands and 3 or 4 Wrenn. I haven't, no. You're not the first person to suggest playing less lands. I am playing like 2 Nurturing Peatland though, and you know, a bit more lands. And I also tend to, when I'm playing Lurrus, I tend to just be a little bit heavier on lands than I would be otherwise, because just having that flood insurance with Lurrus makes me less worried about flooding out. R5X, 2 months, appreciate you. Glad you liking the stream. Nurturing Peatland on top. I'll just go ahead and shuffle this. And I think we're getting Overgrown Tomb here. Is Ignoble not good enough for the cut? I don't think so. It's just like I mean, Ignoble's not bad, but Ignoble, in my opinion, is worse than Ragavan and Darcy. You could play it, but it's also like all of a sudden if you play Ignoble, and like I have played Ignoble in this deck in the past, and an issue with I did feel like there was an issue wanting untapped green, untapped red, and an untapped black on turn 1. It just was a bit awkward sometimes. My thoughts on the straight green black rock that's been performing well. MTGO Julie's premium. I'm running Saga to give it a toolbox main. I've seen that deck a couple times. I like it. I actually really like the idea of the Saga game plan with hold on. The Saga game plan with Witherbloom Command. I don't know if that's like stock tech. I've seen it in a couple decks though, and I've liked it. I think I'm just gonna cast Tarmogoyf here. Oh, they can't make a construct. That's pretty good for us. Oh, Thoughtcast is bad though. The card's so strong. Is it true about the Rivers have been running Card Super Friends off stream? I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely haven't spent all of my free time playing the sweetest deck of modern Karth Super Friends. These rumors are unfounded, and quite frankly, I refuse to address them. They just completely ridiculous. Sure, maybe Karth Super Friends is a cool deck, and maybe it's pretty fun, but I just have too much self-respect to play something like that. Given how low the average TMC of some decks have become, what do you think of some more pushes in the shadow decks, or is hitting Planeswalkers too important? I like Fatal Push, especially against the Hammer Time decks. Heat is also really strong. I think that maybe the answer is going to be if you're playing Scourge of the Skyclaves, then maybe you have to play Lightning Bolt, and if you're not playing a Scourge, maybe you just don't need to play Bolt. Bolt Step Bolt, 11 months, appreciate ya. This is quite the turn. What the hell? Opponent, stop running so hot. This is this is unreasonable. Why didn't you Terminate over Ancient Grudge? Oh, maybe Terminate was better. I mean, I didn't mind I wanted to get the jar out of the way though, actually. No, this was better because we need to trade a Grudge for a jar at some point. That just used my mana so much more efficiently that turn. So I attack, they pop their relic, they block. Kolaghan's command puts artifact creature instant in the yard, but it still dies to this guy. Do you think Witherbloom Command would have any place in a list like this, or Sultai doesn't have access to Wrenn and Six? Yeah, the card. I do think the card stock goes down when you have Wrenn and Six. Wrenn and Six does a very similar thing. But I do like the card in the current metagame. Is Chalice in the sideboard for the Cascade decks? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Dude, opponent, stop. They're running so hot. Opponent's running so hot right now. No love for EE on 1 there. Not really. If we EE on 1 and that's our whole turn, we get smacked for like we don't have like our Goyf doesn't have good blocks. We get hit for so much. It's crazy. We get hit for so much if we EE on 1 there. EE on 1 is they get to just sack their relic to draw a card. We don't deal with any of our opponent's gigantic creatures. They do name EE with the needle. What about Death Shadow and or Scourge in this list? It's just a different deck. Wait, and then they move it over to the Thought Monitor. Okay, so I'm guessing I'm gonna go Kolaghan's Command, kill this, kill this. Destroy artifact, 2 damage. Make sure I got that right. Okay, attack. Mr. Sari, thanks for the deck tech. Take a look in a second. Yeah, my opponent's drawn really well too. I mean, we've drawn really well too. I probably shouldn't have complained so much about my opponent's draw, but boy, they've drawn really hot this match. Blue-white Ephemerate, cool. Cool. I know I've tried to tackle this a couple of times. I feel like you need 4 Urzas. I like the 3 Red Inspectors. I like the 4 Portable Holes. They drew Saga? Golly. It does grow the Goyf a bunch. I feel like I don't like Trinket Mage. I feel like the card ends up feeling like pretty underpowered whenever I end up playing with it, and it's not the worst thing ever. Opponent just loves moving these cranial plating around a bunch. So I guess I'm gonna go destroy this, 2 damage, terminate, just on tap. Yeah, so I would cut the Trinket Mages for. I probably wouldn't play the Ballista either. Yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't play the Ballista. Play the 4th Urza. I might even try to play Stoneforge Mystic in this deck, because I like Stoneforge Mystic getting your Nettlecyst, maybe getting Cranial Plating. Then also maybe play like 1 Cauldron too. You could also get your Shadow Spear. And it's also cool, Stoneforge Mystic with Ephemerate. If you activate Stoneforge Mystic, Ephemerate it, then you get to put equipment in your hand and then put it into play. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see. I think those are my main thoughts on this archetype. I'm not sure if you want 4 of the Razor Tide Bridged too. Like, it really, I mean, it powers up your Thought Monitor. It's probably important for that then. Those are my main thoughts. I'm not sure if you have enough white cards for Solitude. You might. I'm gonna Grudge, attack, put Lurrus in my hand. Drew a lot of shatters this game. We can Grudge the Needle, and then we can Explosives. Played your favorite controller today. I'm in love with it, but the mana's not great. Yeah, I know that's the issue with the deck. I've been trying to crack the code, man. It's tough. Good news is my opponent just doesn't have many more Thought Monitors in their deck. Some good news. Oh man, what a game. Do I play this on? I think I could just play it on 0. And they've already used their first Pithing Needle. If they have a second needle in their deck, and then they make a construct, and then get the needle, then we're kind of in trouble. You ever go on a tear with the deck you just don't believe in? Yeah, I have. There was one kind of recently, I can't remember. Oh, there was one like I was playing. I built like a Teamer Cosma control deck right when Cosma came out, and I 5-0'd my first league, and I what's a fret to say GG. I 5-0'd my first league with it, but the whole time I'm just thinking this deck is terrible. But I shouldn't have streamed it. I had no confidence in it, and the deck was pretty bad, like I thought. We're playing against Lurrus. I feel like we can keep this on the draw. We have 3 looks at a land. Maybe more if we if they play a 1-mana creature and we want to heat on turn 1. Then we actually get use out of the scry. You think they eventually they'll do shard color triomes? I know that they said that they intend to. Who knows what exactly if that's gonna happen though. Crim Flare constantly underrated. I feel like Crim Flare is constantly adequately rated. Yeah, would I jam? I think I'll jam the second command over the trophy max. I also don't think I'd play the Dismember, so maybe you play third Decay over that. Decay is probably pretty good right now, right? Oh, they're playing the control deck from yesterday. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that deck was pretty good. Yeah, they just have to be playing the list. That's so cool. Yeah, it just looks exactly the list we were playing yesterday. I like the deck. I'm glad that someone's picking it up. And we didn't draw a land. You ever feel like you get intentionally played against my brews? Not really, no. It's hard to manipulate the pairing systems on Magic Online. I doubt that someone's just like, I'm gonna play against Spike with the deck you played with yesterday. I don't know what the appeal is there, really. Alright, let's start casting these discard spells. I don't have 7 cards in my graveyard for Into the Story just yet, so I'm gonna cast Thoughtseize first. They can't Into the Story here. Yeah, oh yeah, except for the Mono Blue Tron Discord. Yeah, they definitely snipe me. Yeah, but it's not my own brews queuing up against me. Really, 29 and 9 with a Boros Burn list. It's very cool. I think I want a Ragavan here. I think I feel worried that my opponent has Into the Story, and Inquisition isn't going to help with against that. And so if they're going Into the Story, we can at least hit here. There's an entire Discord for Blutron. Apparently, there's just a Discord for every deck, I think. Wait, they got Island instead of Watery Grave? Is that because they milled over the other one? It is. How is Tasha's Hideous Laughter against Mill? It's a bit weird because of Archive Trap being 5 mana, right? My opponent stole? I should probably just save the Inquisition for Lurrus. They don't have a land in their hand, otherwise they'd be snap stealing here. Again, I want to hold this for Lurrus. Not that my opponent has 2 black yet. Let's just cast this, get their last card out of their hand. Kroxa is really hard for my opponent to beat, although they do have their 1 copy of Cling to Dust, which makes it a lot less tough. Oh, they're also just like, they just top deck a land, they just hit me for 7 with Hall of the Storm Giants. That card has been really impressive to me. Yeah, they can also just put Lurrus into play. Yeah, I like the blue-black control deck. It felt pretty good yesterday. I want to play more of it, but the games just go on so long. Games just go on so long. But I was really impressed by Hall of the Storm Giants specifically yesterday. Maybe I'll just play it in the Showcase Challenge this weekend. I feel like the blue-black deck was really good against the, like, more targeted metagame, you know? Well, my opponent didn't Lurrus or Hall. They're just holding up Cling to Dust. Still not in good shape. But if they Cling to Dust my Kroxa, maybe we Kolaghan's Command. Did my opponent mill over the swamp too? No, they still have the swamp in the deck. I see my Rainmaker deck has been getting lots of play. I did not see that. No, that's really cool. That's really cool. I like that deck too. I'm honestly like really happy that it feels like I'm there was a week or so where I felt a little stuck creatively, I guess, and I've felt, you know, able to brew again and like try to innovate for the first time in a couple weeks. That's a regular Jund in the meta. This is regular Jund. You know what I mean? This is regular Jund. Yeah, I don't think I want to play the Kroxa into the Cling. No, this is Uber Jund. I mean, if this is Uber Jund, fine, but regular Jund, Liliana Bloodbraid Jund is a dead deck. Oh, they drew into the story? Oh boy. Seems like a tough matchup. Yeah, this list is regular Jund. Maybe you could convince me that some people still play Boomer Jund. Yeah, Lantern is also a lot worse than Spellbomb in this matchup because Spellbomb can turn off Drown. I think we still bring him in. Little light on. It's all Alpine. I'll play one Alpine Moon for their haul. Got some blue-white control right now. Maybe playing Portable Hole to help against Monkey. The issue with blue-white X control at the moment is not its ability to deal with monkeys. It's like very easy to splash black or red or play Portable Hole. The problem with blue-white is Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and Jace the Mind Sculptor are really poorly positioned. So you need to, the key to control decks, like the deck my opponent's playing is a control deck that I put together and have been finding success with. I should Darcy Bauble for like my opponent's deck is one I put together to its win condition is into the story, really. And you can't Unholy Heat and into the story. And the idea is that if you're going to be playing control in Modern at the moment, you need to be playing win conditions that are resilient to Unholy Heat. And so I've also been playing a Temur Reclamation deck that is resilient to Unholy Heat and been doing well with that. I've been playing an Esper Reanimator control deck and been doing well with that. I've been playing Blue-Red Through the Breach and doing well with that. Blue-white control and blue-white X control also needs like a complete overhaul if it's going to find success, because you know, you just Fairy Hero and Jace the Mind Sculptor are really poorly positioned, while Unholy Heat is just such a dominant card. And that's just not gonna change anytime soon. How's the deck perform overall so far? We're just 1-0, and then now down a game against blue-black control. It seems to be a bad matchup. But I like it. I think that it makes a lot of sense to me, splashing for Wrenn and Six, Ancient Grudge, Tarmogoyf in the Rakdos deck in the current environment. They brought in Thoughtseize? Weird. I'm just gonna take their 2-for-1s. You'll see. I might play the black green rock deck off stream. I like it. I think I've seen it around a little bit. I think it's a creative list. Then it's Engineered Explosives, Thought Scour, Mystery card. Zax, 8 months. Appreciate ya. What is your pet card, and you need to resist the build to play around it? At least this card may not be well positioned. I guess I don't really feel the desire to brew around cards like that anymore, but there's been cards like that in the past for me for sure. I just like I really just try to stay out of that mindset of this is my pet card, I'm gonna brew around it. Yeah, I'm not sure what it would be these days. Yeah, maybe like Ancestral Visions at one point would be the answer. This is provided Mishra's Bauble stays around longer, But it does seem planeswalkers are not at their best. Yeah, I mean, obviously if a ban happens, we'll reevaluate. Everything I say is obviously just in the context of current modern, and it's just you never want to start thinking about what things will be like if a ban happens, just because there's no point. You'll have plenty of time to think about it then. Thoughts on 4-color Omnath with Glimpse of Tomorrow. Wouldn't that be 4-color Glimpse of Tomorrow with Omnath? Surprised Omnath's the namesake of the deck. I think that deck's fine. I think it's fine. It's convoluted though. I'm assuming the Wander is unplayable. I assume the Wander is unplayable too, but it's a nice thought. Yep. I'm gonna mold to 6. Really bad to mold on the 6 on the play in a matchup like this. I think Brand Squirrelbait will be good for a while, even though it's an anti-meta deck. Well, I don't really suspect the meta is going to change a ton in the coming weeks. I think it'll change a little bit, but I actually do like Brand Squirrelbait a lot right now. I think that the way I've built it with the Spellstutter sprites, the Thalias, the Sanctum Prelates, I like it a lot. The biggest issue with the Bant decks though is the mana just sucks, and I spend like every morning working on Bant mana bases, and it's not getting any better, man. It's not getting any better. Is Red Black obsolete? No, I don't think so. I mean, this is the same deck. I should probably like make this a bit more clear. That like when I'm playing this deck and it's obviously just the red black deck, and I've cut the Voidwalkers for Wrenn and Sixes and Tarmogoyfs, and like cut the Turok 2 for these cards because I feel like these cards are better positioned in the metagame. It's not like this is a different deck all of a sudden. It's the same deck, just like with different tools in an evolving metagame. Just the same strategy, playing a few different cards and playing, you know, an updated mana base to support these cards. All that's happening here. They didn't play their Bauble? Oh, they drew it off the Bauble. Clown Parade, thank you for your prime. Appreciate you. Appreciate your prime. Get your saying you're not wrong, but Mr. Bauble was playing a lot of decks and key to Darcy decks. I don't think that we're disagreeing here. I just can't entertain band talk all day, every day. It just becomes too, like, it's like not super relevant conversation, since it's just kind of like all theory crafting and not particularly relevant to our environment. Yeah, my opponent has double counterspell, so I'm just gonna put Lurrus in my hand here and let them not use their mana. Yeah, it's just not a very productive conversation to like do like the hypothetical what if X or Y is banned. It just becomes too much to too distracting, I feel, usually. So our opponent has double counterspell. I'm just gonna play this tapped. Maybe I should have cast one of the Thoughtseizes now. But I'm gonna try to go end of turn, get you know, make them counter the Kolaghan's command, untap, get a 2-for-1 with Lurrus. I lend a little insight to your Grixis Shadow list. Well, you have to give me a slightly more specific question than that, I think. Alright, so hopefully they don't have the third counterspell. Then we're in trouble. We're flooding out a little bit. Alright, so I think I cast Ragavan here. It's kind of close. The last Spartan, 2 months, appreciate you. Have I thought about brewing more with Demi-Ledge? Yeah, I have. I was actually kind of working on a more like prowessy version of that deck this morning that I thought looked kind of good. But I'm not sure exactly. Hey, they don't have Revolt for Fatal Push here. I'm not sure exactly how I want to go about building that deck. I've been thinking about it. Everyone's playing the blue. They're playing just. It looks like they're playing exactly the blue-black control list I was playing yesterday. Why no Scourge in the Grixis Death Shadow deck? I think that's too, so. What I think it's too many threats if you play Scourge in the version I'm playing. And I think that you need to play Darcy and Ragavan to enable Scourge. You need to play Shadow, and if you also play Scourge, it's just too many threats, I think. So it's just like Scourge I think is the worst threat that also needs you to play 8 1-mana creatures, and I just think it ends up getting cut. They have Damnation on top. It's good to know about. We can answer it with Thoughtseize. Also, it's good to attack there, because if I draw another Ragavan... Okay, Wrenn and Six is great here. We have the Nurturing Peatland in the graveyard too. But you could build the Grixis deck with Scourge. I should probably also say that. It's like, of course, totally reasonable to to play Scourge as well. I think it's also fine to cut it. And maybe the answer is play like 2 Scourge of the Skyclaves, you know? So this is going to be an incredible turn. Oh no. I mean, I guess it's good that they're not drawing that, but I want to cast into the story. Warning Tugboat. I think it's going pretty well. Looks like we're about to be 2-0. My opponent could draw another into the story, get out of this though. Yeah, Wrenn and Six is just so strong at the moment. Like that's kind of the idea, is that I feel like the Rakdos deck wants to be playing Wrenn and Six. We get back Peatland. Back. Let me hit. Let's see what we find. Now it's not into the story. Okay, so our Lurrus is gone. I think I probably still want to leave. Targets for it though, in case I get it back with Kolaghan's command. But now we're just gonna escape Kroxa again. What I cut for 2 or 4 Scourge? I don't know. I'd have to sit down and think about it, you know. Like I don't think it's correct to play the Scourges. So like, why is Wrenn good right now? The card, there are a ton of 1 toughness creatures at the moment. A ton of 1 toughness creatures. Very land heavy hand, but I think we keep with Darcy maybe stopping us from drawing too many more lands. There are a ton of 1 toughness creatures. It's also true that like while most planeswalkers are vulnerable to Unholy Heat, your Wrenn and Six is like always getting you a 2-for-1, and Unholy Heat is not usually delirious on turn 2 anyways. Dress Down does kill Scourge, yeah, so don't play Dress Down and Scourge. Good draw. A ton of 1 toughness creatures. Wrenn and Six also just a very good card, but Wrenn and Six is better when like there are a ton of 1 toughness creatures. Bant deck. You know, I'm of the opinion, and you know other people are of the opinion too, that Wrenn and Six is I think the most underplayed card in Modern right now. And so I have been spending, you know, time this week trying to find the best Wrenn and Six deck. I guess the better question would be, why did you remove Street Wraith? Lurrus is a broken magic card and is worth cutting the Street Wraiths for. Another land, unfortunately. Can I get a deck tech? You can. There's a channel point redemption option that says deck tech. You can do that. Or you can donate $5 or gift a sub. I'm okay playing the Tarmogoyf into Solitude here without the Ephemerate. If they want a 2-for-1 themselves, I'm totally cool with it. It'd be cool to see you try an honest good red mid-range list with Wrenn and Six. Well, I mean, that's just Ponza. That's just Ponza. Is Wrenn and Six underplayed, or is it that Wrenn and Six is too expensive for a lot of people? It's underplayed. This is, you know, like people are playing. There's a ton of decks with 4 of Ragavan, a Magic Online at least, and there's a lot of people playing just with the most expensive cards on Magic Online. You know, I'm sure that is to some extent a factor, but it's not really. Even in the context of it being too expensive for some people, it's still very underplayed. The card is super well positioned, and it's just like for a while has been almost nowhere to be found. Another Ice Fang. A fifth of the way back to where I was 6 months ago when I bet all my channel points on a hero and lost. Brutal. The believers have been getting paid off a lot lately. So my opponent can hard cast their Solitude this turn. In a weird league, played against Dimir control, Bant Ephemerate control. That is true. Like, yeah, I'm not playing Snowlands because I really like this, you know, the swamp, but yeah, Snowlands are valuable in these kind of matchups. And these hardcast Solitudes are going to be gnarly. You have a Darcy on top. It's probably worth keeping. Did you play Nimble Recyclings? I have 2 Nurturing Peatlands in the deck, which I think are a bit better in this list. That's more low to the ground. Discard Noble Hierarchs, their hand is Solitude, then 2 mystery cards after their draw step. Yeah, I've been playing Snowlands in a lot of these decks, and it has not come up for me yet, the hitting a snow permanent off Ragavan. But it will come up at some point, of course. So my Ragavan is, or my Lurrus is, I'm sure, not long for this world, but let's just go ahead and get at it. That's nice to surveil that into the graveyard for some value. Bauble ourselves. Blood Crypt on top. Shuffle. Running light on fetchable targets, but it's fine, I guess. I only have 1 fetchable left in the deck. I guess I just don't pick up a land here. Brutal. I'd rather play Witherbloom Command. Fair, I guess. You can play Witherbloom Command instead. Wrenn and Six is nuts right now. I don't know. I think that's maybe a bit of copium. It's like sometimes like you can do some mental gymnastics to justify not playing like the super expensive card. Why is it valued to surveil Kroxa? You don't get the first trigger if you surveil it. Yeah, but you also don't have to spend a draw step putting the Kroxa into your hand. So then you get to draw something else, and so it's like drawing an extra card. It just depends on why you want the Kroxa. No, it doesn't, right? Just whenever you surveil Kroxa into the graveyard, you've drawn an extra card, effectively, if you can escape it. Oh, Prismatic Ending. Although I do have... I should probably chump block so I can escape this Kroxa again. Not the best exchange. I mean, it seems like my opponent's playing a list that I haven't put together. They're something of their own creation. I haven't been working on like the Bant Ephemerate decks for a while. Why not trade with Solitude? Oh, that was better. That was way better. Need to draw Kolaghan's Command. I don't know why I was thinking this has 3 toughness. If we draw Kolaghan's Command, we could still pull out of this. Actually, it's actually really good because they block the Kroxa, right? Oh. I would say that we got a little flooded this game, huh? Had a bit flooded. We probably don't want to change too much. I'm a bit reluctant to want Ancient Grudge, especially when I have Kolaghan's Command. And you know they have Cauldron now. Our game one deck seems pretty good against them though. 22 lands plus 4 Bauble plus 4 Wrenn is too much. I mean, I disagree. We also have 2 Nurturing Peatland, which we didn't draw with the Wrenn and Six, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I'm not sure how much the Baubles factor into it. Like maybe a little bit. His Terminate what position is? Yeah, it's pretty good against Hammer and Murktide Regent. You know, every deck is capable of getting like incredibly flooded, you know, like even with our 22 land deck, it's not like that was an average game. That was a game where we drew far too many lands, right? This seems good since their deck's mostly again 2s. Good Explosives does not deal with Cauldron. Their deck is also not mostly 2s. Their deck has Stoneforge Mystic and yeah, 22. This is the average draw for a 22 land deck. Their deck has Stoneforge Mystic and Ice Fang, and I think that's all of their 2s. Maybe they have like one other creature. I haven't tried Abundant Harvest. That is kind of interesting. Green man on turn 1's kind of tough. Ragavan is hard for their deck to answer on turn 1. They can't have Prismatic Ending, of course, but I think we're supposed to just jam. My opponent doesn't have Prismatic Ending. They just have Noble Hierarch, which I can kill with Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, Harvest might be good in this deck. They're chumping. I'm thrilled with that. Yeah, we could think about. I'm kind of down to think about Abundant Harvest. So the green is kind of tough. Maybe you don't need to cast it on turn 1 all that often. Control Freak, 14 months. Appreciate you. Did we play last night? I think we might have played last night. So you'd cut like the 2 Peatlands, the 8th fetch, or the 2nd mountain. Can maybe cut the 4th Bauble. Can maybe cut the 7th discard spell. It's an interesting thought. You don't need to play 4 necessarily. Yeah, that's deck's really fun. I played 2 different versions last night. I don't remember which one I played against you. If it was like the more all-in version. Need to draw land for Wrenn and Six? Not necessarily. Alright, no better skull for you, opponent. I'm gonna take the Witness. A bit awkward to leave them with Solitude and Ephemerate, but the Witness is just like the only card they can play next turn. Fourth Goyf seems also easy cut. Oh, I agree with that, yeah. Yeah, I think you cut the 4th Goyf. Seems interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I kind of feel like it's worth trying. Kind of looks good to me, to be honest. Cutting 3 lands feels like too much for Harvest. It's close. I think it's probably fine. One concedes. You know, we're also doing well in this league. You know, we're 2-0 and going to game 3. You don't think? I think in my opinion, you can't play Wrenn and Six and Voidwalker. It's just like wanting double black and red green on 2 is a headache. I mean, it's not like the worst thing ever, but I think you just kind of want to shy away from playing both those cards. And so for the long time, I've thought that I think Voidwalker is worse at the moment than it has been, which is why I'm playing this deck. Is that I think Voidwalker is not that well positioned. But the Peatlands are great with Wrenn and Six. They're okay with Wrenn and Six. It's very slow. Play 20 lands plus 4 Bauble, Lurrus, no red, no harvest. Yeah, I feel like if you play 2 Wrens, you can cut like 1 land. But so maybe you could play the 20th land as the first Peatland. I think that sounds fine. It's totally fine. There's another Bauble on top. I think I'll just go ahead and keep that. You don't like it in Black Green Rock? Abundant Harvest? Harvest is probably good there too, yeah. So if we wanted to play the first Peatland, what's the cut? We could cut the 4th Harvest, maybe. I feel like that's the cut. You could have cut the 3rd Command, but Command's really good. Uh-oh. Another Ragavan on top, no thanks. The issue with Seal of Fire in decks like this is that it just tends to be worse than any number of Unholy Heats or Bolts. Oh, Voidwalker is what you're asking about? I mean, the card's still fine. It just is a lot. It's just not as well positioned as it once was, I think. Tarmogoyf does give us a lot more game against Sanctifier, at least. Which version I've found to be best, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. I feel like this is maybe the best version right now, but things just change so quickly. And they're all like pretty close to the same deck. Ding. Trellon, thanks for the raid, dude. Hope you're having a good one. What a hand. I have to take the Ice Fang. Not that scared of Queller. Yeah, a little scared of Queller, maybe. Big raid from Trellon. Who wants to see some good creative Tron decks, mostly of the blue variety. Follow Trellon MTGO. Talking about versions, what I think about Mardu. I don't like Mardu that much. So I don't know. I just feel like the prismatic endings like don't give you that much because you already have great removal in the red-black colors. And that's the main card you're splashing for. Interested in Dreadhorde Arcanist plus Harvest? I think Dreadhorde Arcanist is really underpowered in Modern, to be honest. I think the card sucks. And I've played it like a decent amount with it. Elodarmi's Call? What? The deck's kind of all over the place. I'm kind of into it though. I actually like Elodarmi's Call a lot with Solitude. Like lets you play less Solitudes. Although my opponent's playing a bunch of them actually. Get the Batterskull. Okay, so I'm just gonna attack Teferi. If they chump block it, I'll Unholy Heat the Teferi. If they don't, I'll Unholy Heat the Stoneforge. It should be the same outcome either way. What becomes a 5/6. Lurrus. Okay here. Another Teferi. Bit obnoxious. Yeah, Traverse isn't very good anymore, I think. I agree. The thing about Traverse is it used to be good because there wasn't a good density of powerful threats in these kind of decks. It was like really just like Shadow was so much better than everything else. So you played Traverse to get extra copies of Shadow mostly. Obviously you had other tutor targets. But now there's so many good threats in Modern that spending an extra mana on any of them is not a good exchange. So you just have so many good cards you don't need to play, you know, a tutor effect. You could just play more threats instead. And then these threats don't cost an extra mana. Endurance on top. And they now have double greens. Their hand is Elodomri's Call, Spell Queller, Endurance, Batterskull. Pretty good hand. I would love for this to just be hard cast Batterskull. Yeah, if you want a 2-mana Death Shadow instead of Traverse, you just play Scourge. Absolutely. Wait, I must have missed something. They must have shuffled it. Okay, they definitely have the Batterskull. Where's the Spell Queller then? I don't know how I messed this up. Obviously I did. This is pretty free to sack here. Alright, now we're gonna get to know their hand. They used the call. Oh, this was Eldar. I thought that this was Jamoka's command the whole time. Okay. I thought that was Jamoka's command. You can keep a bolt. Endurance is kind of scary to shrink the Goyf. I'm not particularly scared of Queller if I kill the... I guess I'll just kill the Hierarch right now, actually. Well... just attack them first. That's the first decision I need to make. What do you do here? I think that I'm gonna Unholy Heat Hierarch. I just don't think I need to be scared of Queller here with like 3 removal spells for it, even if they have the Teferi in play. Reverse wasn't as good because Gain Delirium was tougher pre-Darcy. They could change more favorite Traverse. Yeah, I mean, that's not the issue with Traverse. Even if Traverse, like, I don't know, they drew Prismatic Ending, which is devastating. I think we Thoughtseize the Batterskull at least, and we found another Goyf. Okay, back in it. We bolt the Teferi. Ass. What a game, dude. Like, yeah, Traverse, like, the card itself is online way more often, of course, now. But it's just also, the issue is not it being online. I think it's just the fact that it just doesn't feel that well positioned. Or, sorry, it's just not as powerful as it used to be. My opponent didn't draw Ephemerate, I guess. I should terminate this over Bolt. Trying to think. Like, the Batterskull's dead. Bolt misses Endurance. But I think that I'm kind of likely to want to burn them out this game. Stop on my upkeep. What a game. I could attack here. If I attack here, this means the Tarmogoyf is lethal with the Bolt next turn. I think I'm not going to. Could have been fine. Okay, now I wish I guess I'll just make that attack this turn. Probably should have upkeep bolted. Oh. That is a good one. That is a good one. This was a game, man. This was a game. So, I feel like I spent so much time talking about other decks, but this game felt really good. 3-0? 3-0 with Jund. The only good Jund deck. Use the restroom real quick. Be right back. That was crazy, man. Alright, on the play. Yeah. This deck, I agree. This deck is definitely not a meme. Traditional Jund is a bit of a meme. I think in this hand, I'm going to lead on Inquisition on turn 1. If I draw Wrenn and Six, I might want to cast it on turn 2. So I'm going to lead on the Blood Crypt. Alright, pretty good hand in this matchup, maybe. Kind of scared of the Saga. Do you think Thrun's a playable card? Kinda, yeah. Not so playable that you'd want to lose Lurrus for it in a lot of decks, but maybe you could play it in like Ponza. Ooh. Man, surveilling that card in the graveyard always feels so good. They have Ballista on top. Do I want to terminate? I think maybe. Let me go ahead and bottom that. Second Ravager. Yeah, graveyard that actually gives me Delirium, which makes this not die to the Any consideration play with more than 2 Kroxa because Darcy? I mean, I've been playing more than 2 Kroxa in the red-black variant. I've been liking 3. Like, there is some tension with Tarmogoyf, though. But I like Kroxa a lot. You could do that. I'm gonna think. So if they play Ravager, and I just go... I can just deal 2 damage to one and shatter the other, and then they'll both die. Yeah, I think 2 feels like the right number to me here. I could end up being persuaded otherwise. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go Shatter Walking Ballista, deal 2 damage to my opponent. I feel like that's better here than making them discard one of their like lands. Kroxas are also, you know, bad to draw multiples. Not that that's a huge issue. Oh, they already have they have artifacts in their yard. I guess I want to leave sorcery because I have an instant in my hand. Or it would be okay if it was unbanned. No. No, it would not be. I don't think so. Upkeep stop. I kind of think it would be. They balance a ton of image with Uro in mind. Uro is an unbalanced magic card. Uro is just like is too good for modern. I've played hundreds and hundreds of matches with and against Uro. I guess more than hundreds. Whatever number is bigger than hundreds I've played. And if anybody can count that high, let me know. But Uro would be too strong in my opinion at the moment. You can surveil Uro into the yard with Darkseid. Why unban when you can errata? Yeah. No, everybody will send. Wizards will send you an official Wizards of the Coast Sharpie to wipe out, gain 3 life on Uro, or wipe out, play an extra land. Something like that. An official Wizards of the Coast Sharpie. They cut the Ragavans in this matchup. Goyf is pretty good against them. And cut the Thoughtseizes, maybe in the second Kroxa though. This looks pretty good. Wasn't bolting Zabaz better than bolting the constructs? By bolt the Zabaz, they get to modular. Yeah, don't they get to modular 2 counters onto a construct and still kill the Kroxa? Am I wrong about that? Probably. That's good. No, because Zabaz is dead. But doesn't Zabaz... So Zabaz doesn't modular 2 counters if Zabaz is not still in play? Because that's not how I thought it worked, but... I guess that makes sense. Alright, let's graveyard that. Hey, on 13 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Okay, good to know. Then that would have been better. If I see a 100 Bird. That'd be cool, yeah. Yeah, definitely come say hi at the 100 Burton. Full disclosure, I'm, you know, not, I can be a bit introverted and I can be a bit awkward, but I definitely would like for you guys to say hi. So I'm just gonna play my fetch so I can get Delirium in combat here. you think I'm playing there? I don't know. I'm really like not tryharding for this tournament. I'm really just, my goal for this tournament is to have as much fun as I can and to play block and then Ancient Grudge the drum. Yeah, my goal for this tournament is just have as much fun as I can, hang out with people I haven't seen in a long time, and just generally enjoy myself. Not really tryharding. Will I be taking hat donations for the tournament? Or like you give me hats? No, don't give me stuff. Also, I don't know if I will. People want me to sign stuff, but just if you want me to sign stuff, to fair disclosure, my signature is really ugly, bad. That's a draw. That is a draw. I could do it on one. I think I just attack for 3. Grudge and Heat there, 2 creatures, then play E on 0 next turn. I did for the signets. I did try really hard as I possibly can on the signets, and it still didn't look very good. But I tried my best. Could Heat the worker, Grudge the hanger back once they move. Yeah, that's the plan, and then just clean up with explosives. Thank you, Max. It is in Dallas, yeah. I mean, I'm fully vaccinated, as I encourage everybody else to be. Can surveil this into the graveyard, but I think I'd rather just draw it. How far behind are we in the leader? I think when I looked this morning, we were still 1 trophy behind the leaders. Ooh, Ranger class, although the explosives cleans that up pretty well. And then do I need to hold up Ancient Grudge? I don't think I need to. I'm just gonna play the Wrenn. Yeah, so they can go activate Ranger class, Nexus, put 3 counters on the Nexus, and kill Wrenn and Six if they want. Kinda fine. So we're splashing red and black green rock for Wrenn? Maybe. Probably pretty good. But if you're splash red at that point, you probably need to play Darcy and just play this deck. You know what I mean? If you're already splashing red, like just play like the great red cards instead of like the medium black green cards. And it's also like if you're playing Saga, it is harder to splash the 3rd color, which would be the reason in the first place, not to. I kind of want to just ping them. Is that crazy? I have enough lands. Darcy isn't mandatory. Run Bloodbraid Elf. I don't know it's satire anymore, chat. I don't know when people are goofing and when people are being genuine. Maybe I should have got Lurrus there. Nah, I kind of want to have stall my interaction up right now. I just like the sincere chat comments and like ironic chat comments are just totally blurred into one entity, and I just can't differentiate anymore. I don't know. I feel like the kappas kind of ruin it a little bit, right? Like the really truly, and I probably shouldn't invite this too much, but like the truly funny comments that are sarcastic are way better without the kappas. But it's also like you definitely run the risk when you say something like ironically that I will think you're being genuine, but there's a lot of layers to it. You have to have a well crafted comment, and I can't promise that I won't yell at you. I'll never make the promise that I won't yell at you, but I might laugh. Yeah, true comedy is dangerous. I write all my sincere comments with white font, thanks to No Beats. I've been working on the channel point redemption. No Beats. We're doing No Beats' 1 million channel point redemption option. This oh boy. This Friday. I guess I should have Lurrus last turn. Forgot about this. And it's gonna be a little weird. It's gonna be a little weird. So this Friday expect it to be a little weird, you know? Yeah, it's fine. Another Darcy. Alright, with them being dead to the Darcy's next turn, I just wanna hold up the interaction. Is it weird enough to take the day off? No, it's not gonna be that weird. It's gonna be fun weird. I think. That was their draw for the turn. I'm probably not gonna run the rock deck today, Max. I'll probably do it off stream if at all. It is cool, yeah. It's gonna be weird like an animal, weird like a vegetable, weird like a mineral. Animal, I guess? Kind of. Probably not. That's probably too misleading. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun weird. How's that? It'll be a first time for the Magic community, I think. Shoot. Yeah, so they can kill their Hanger Backwalker here. So if I go kill this, what if I grudge the drum? Just force the action. If I grudge the drum, they tap Zabaz, destroy their Hanger Back, get 3 tokens, then I can grudge heat ping to kill him. I think that this is good. Zabaz can they can tap. Oh, they tap the Hanger Back for red. Oh no. But now I need to draw another removal spell. Right. We have a lot of looks. Or just explosive. Yeah, we're doing pretty well here. Just need to find. Okay, there we go. Ding 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 ding. Off to 4-0. First league with this deck. Guess we're gonna get a prediction. So I don't know. I'm kind of nervous because the believers have just been so rewarded lately. You know what I mean? The believers have just been so paid off. We've won like the last 6 predictions. I kind of feel like maybe that's gambler's fallacy. Maybe it's gambler's fallacy, but I'm a bit nervous. It's been a while since the doubters have won. It's also true that if we trophy this league, we're tied with the trophy leaders. I guess you can't see it. We're on the draw with a sketchy hand. It's close. I'll keep it. My opponent's not playing Lurrus, so they're less likely to have a lot of cheap interaction. The Ragavan's a lot more likely to connect. And we're on the draw. I feel like this is a fun keep. One, the index makes his hand great. Oh man. Keeps fine. I think Darcy's the only Delirium card worth playing. I can't think of any other good ones. Oh, Unholy Heat, yeah. Opponent seems to have Prismatic Ending. Esper, Wall of Omens. Shout out to the doubters. Always. Yeah, now things are just chugging along, just fine. Yeah, people want Grimflayer to be good so badly. Two copies of Stoneforge Mystic. Waking in my boots. Shout out to everybody that suggested playing Brazen Borrower over the last few days. Mike, what do you think about a Brazen Borrower in this deck, huh? What do you think about adding old Brazen Bee? I think one Brazen Borrower is really good, Spike. I think one Brazen Borrower is just like, what's the point of not playing it? You know what I mean? Restoration Angel? Oh my gosh. Opponent's got some class. Opponent's got some class, I'll tell you that. Supreme, the old Supreme Verdict. Restoration Wall of Woman's deck. Borrower can't even block here. Did they draw another resto? Not lucky enough to. So it seems like my opponent's plan is to cast Borrower, play equip Sword of Feast and Famine. So I should probably hold up this command. Seems like they have a counter spell. Maybe we should have kept that land actually. Land would have let me play Escape Kroxa after I hit them with Ragavan. I guess maybe my opponent does it. Oh, I should have played the Kroxa pre-combat. Or maybe I'm just gonna end up double goifing. Ins and outs to this case, dude. Yeah, I think we just double goif. Culture's pretty scary though. If you are 4-0 and they are 0-0, isn't it just correct to offer 4 treasure chests to concede? I want to play Magic, man. I want to play Magic. I'm not usually a big fan of those kind of splits. I think we're gonna lose though. How did this happen? Yeah, it's Batterskull Cauldron. Maybe we'll be fine. Maybe not. I don't know. It's tough. So if they play Cauldron, block Goif, they take 7, 8, 9. It's just not going to be lethal. He Brazen won the game. It was the counter spell that won the game. So this grows the Goifs. And forces them to choose Cauldron or Batterskull. They choose Batterskull. 5/5s. They buck this. They take 13, gain 4. And they win. Can escape Kroxa. If we escape Kroxa, we lose Delirium. We do make the Goifs 5 power, I think. They have creature, sorcery, instant in the yard. We can leave a land. And an artifact goes to the graveyard. They're 100% dropping Cauldron. We can't put enough pressure on. I think if they put Cauldron, they die. Or maybe they don't die. Seems better to escape Kroxa. But do I need to turn off Delirium? So if they put in Cauldron, they move the sword over. Oh, we just died of that. I think we're dead. We're dead. Seize attack, then Kroxa. Well, let's block the Ragavan. I think we can't do that. They discard Cauldron. Why did they discard Cauldron? They put in Batterskull. Put in Batterskull. Move the sword over, we can just block. Oh, they're gonna equip the skull. Right. Alright, I'll just make them do it. Brutal. We're so ahead. Like counterspell, man. Yeah, I just don't have Delirium. Oh no, the line was to attack with Ragavan. The line was to attack with Ragavan. If they block it, we get Delirium, and then we can block. Ugh. That was the line. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, we're playing against Esper Stoneblade. We're kind of pre-boarded. I don't think I'm gonna change too much. Yeah, we're still not. It just gives us another draw step, but that was the line, right? It would have been a cool line. I feel like the game was winnable. Holding up the Kolaghan's command was really bad against them drawing counterspell. Maybe we could have won if we hadn't played it, if we had somehow played around that. No, I don't think he won Grudge, because where Grudge doesn't kill Cauldron, we have 3 Kolaghan's commands. We have 3 Kolaghan's commands to kill other equipments. I think Grudge is not good anymore against Stoneblade. Oh, we could draw another Kolaghan's command to beat the 9/9 pro green black lifelink guy. Maybe not. And Unholy Heat doesn't kill it. I don't know. It was at least the right play, right? Didn't miss it. They just wouldn't block, but it gave you a winning chance. Well, we did miss it. It was the correct line to attack with Ragavan. My opponent might that gives my opponent the opportunity to mess up, and gives us the opportunity to maybe win the game. But it wasn't a big deal. We probably weren't winning anyways, but it was a mistake on our end. Keep this. I guess we bauble ourselves. Yeah, the good old no sideboard. I mean, I don't think that we should. Yeah, I've neglected Esper Stoneblade on my sideboard plan. I feel like our game one cards are all good against them too. How lucky could we have gotten from Monkey Connect? That is true. Like Monkey can maybe gets to connect and do something there. There's a lightning bolt on top. I feel like I'm not that interested in drawing lightning bolt here. Take both of their stone forges. Their Snapcaster in their deck seems weird, right? Could get the Wrenn and Six down. I think that's fine. We can just go Terminate, Stoneforge Mystic, the Inquisition. The Rimblem is like pretty threatening on turn 2 against their hand. Nani? Weren't they Esper game 1? I guess we didn't see any black cards. I'm thinking about it. Oh, this is the Esper Triumph, I see. I see. We exiled the Ragavan, I missed it. I guess I'm gonna take this Wall of Omens because their Snapcasters just don't do anything here. Oh man. I don't think that I need or want to Thoughtseize here. We know their hand exactly. Gonna Lurrus, I think. I could Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf like helps us Rimblem a lot, I think. I just don't care if they play out the Snapcaster here. I'll just ping it. Okay, that one's pretty good. We beat a Sanctifier earlier today. Do I think Classic Juggernaut with Lily be good again if Bauble gets banned? Good again. Good again? Wait, do you think Classic Juggernaut was good at some point? I don't know, man. Probably not. I don't think so. I mean, they might verdict here. It'd be really good for us if they did. I mean, yeah, it was good when it had Death Right. That card's not legal anymore. Do I just get the emblem down? Doesn't really do anything. They have Prismatic Ending on top. Guess so. Well, we can't Thoughtseize 3 times because of Sanctifier. I'm just gonna keep trying to push this verdict. If I Kroxa, it gets exiled by Sanctifier, so I don't want to cast the Kroxa. So my opponent's hand is Prismatic Ending, Snapcaster, Supreme Verdict, field. They play the field. They have the Batter Skull. So I can Thoughtseize the Batter Skull, grow the Goyfs to 5 power. I have a bunch of burn too. I probably should have used Archmage's Charm to steal my Wrenn emblem. It wasn't a permanent. I'm just goofing around. Every time people this is just like the dialogue tree for this chat, where every time there's an emblem in play, someone suggests stealing with Archmage's Charm, and then I tell this story where my friend Dalton, I think it was my friend Dalton, it's one of those stories that you can't remember who it was, if it was you or if it was them, but I think it was my friend Dalton, was playing against a kid at FNM, and the kid drew the card, he got a big smile, and he put a sleeved up Liliana of the Dark Realms emblem into play, and then played his swamp and tapped it for 4 mana, and then cast something goofy. He's like, this is pretty good. It was you, okay? It was Matt. Who even knows anymore? But it was just so, it was just so precious. We explained how it worked, and you can't just put an emblem into a sleeve and just play it for 0 mana. But that kid correctly identified what would be a pretty powerful card, right? You know, good card evaluation. I have a swamp. Mountain, sick. Wait, why are they doing this? They get a Prismatic Ending a Goyf? What is this play? It's fine. Everything's fine. Ooh. It's quite a hand. I do want to shuffle the Blackcleave Cliffs that's on the top of my library. Get in for 5. We have a pretty good attack next turn, although I guess they're just gonna go snap Prismatic Ending. We need to draw some more burn. We got some time. A lot of draws. I'm gonna bring in explosives for game 3, I guess. Ragavan on top. Ragavan just kind of checks the Sanctifier a little bit. Stinks that I have the Rimblem and the Bolt in my hand, I just can't use it. I'm just gonna use this as a shuffle for the Bauble on my turn. I don't have any Pirate Spell Bombs in the deck now. Alright, let's go. My opponent has Snap, Archmage's Charm up. So I want to clear this and hope that they use the Snap Charm. I think maybe I can dash Ragavan. They discard the Verdict, which makes sense. Drew another Lightning Bolt. On top. They just let that go. Resto. They flickered the Sanctifier. No. Fuck. Damn it. They let Ragavan hit. Their only chance is this Ragavan. So it feels so bad, man. Winning this game would be pretty legendary. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of hard to like sideboard against the Esper Stoneblade pile. But yeah, it sure does seem like we should have brought in it does seem like we should have brought in explosives, huh? I hope that they steal the Ragavan. That would be really good for us if they did. Don't, of course. Making that Wrenn one really did not work out. Yeah, I was thinking that they would, like, we were in the spot that we thought that they might Verdict away the Goyfs. Yeah, that was probably our route to victory. I mean, I've been playing Pirate Spellbombs in the other deck. Obviously, like, you know, Sanctifier is a good sideboard card against decks like ours. They draw Resto again. Sorry, believers. Sorry. Couldn't make it happen. Still not trophy leader. Still not trophy leader. Tough match. Yeah, but there's some rich doubters in chat right now. Okay, so we did want to try this version, though, that's playing Abundant Harvest. I kind of just want to cut the Peatland, just play it for the 4th Harvest. I feel like we can do night. I want to try.